morning.
How's it
Welcome
going,
to
everybody?
Your Mid Condition, a channel where you could be part of a positive, honest community, lay claim to some comic book knowledge, specifically collected editions.
Specifically.
And, excuse me. This is your host, Uncanny Omar.
How's it going, everybody?
And I'm Astonishing Melanie. And together we are Omnibus.
Me, that's right.
And
Mom.
you guys are, according to Mark Zimmer, kids.
Everybody in the chat is kids. How's it going, Mark? I got your email, buddy, and I will be emailing you back.
Bar from the future. Oh my gosh, you beat
Oh,
the
I like
unstoppable bar. So
I like your Jean Grey by Russell Dodderman.
What's going to happen?
Hello.
Oh, people.
What's up, ma'am?
Good morning. Where are you guys from?
John
What's
Coles.
the weather like?
That is a great picture, John, if that's you. What's up, man? How are you doing, brother?
May your powers combine.
I am Captain
Ben
Planet.
said, this is my last day of COVID quarantine. Can't wait to see my family again tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Baby and the wife, okay, brother?
I'm sorry.
Can you go to Nocturne? I was just thinking about you, man. I haven't seen you in so long.
Good
And then I got
morning.
jealous because you were on the Near Mint Collective chat, and I'm like, oh. And I couldn't go in there because that's when I was watching Ant-Man and Wasp, so that's why I didn't make it. Otherwise, by the way, I'm going to get Andrew and all those guys together, and I'm going to get us back to doing panels because I miss those people. And, yeah, they just don't know it yet, but I'm going to have a intervention, if you will. Morning, Mel. How are you?
Intervention.
Yeah, intervention. Good morning, Gabriel. How's it going? Somebody was asking about Nightwing Year One. It's not being reprinted. It's just my haul. It'll be on my haul. And that's why I have them up there to kind of give you a small glimpse of my haul. Everyone's good, man. Right when they got better. I caught it tomorrow. That's great, man. I'm so glad. It sucked that when you were letting us know that, wife and kiddo got sick. Good morning, Omar and Mel. Hope y'all are warm and healthy. Also, read some good comics this weekend. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of comics. That whole grand design is beautiful, man. Hello from Southern California. It's a cold 51 degrees. I hope y'all are doing good. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Not good, but
which that's hard for people to understand who use Celsius instead of Fahrenheit, right? Hope you guys are well. I'm jealous I can't stay. I'm on my way to work. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Ibsy. But you got Immortal Iron Fist Omnibus coming, right?
And Bar for the Future says, hello.
I don't believe that's really Bar from the Future. Dude, where's my dude that was asking? Deja Vu closed a few years ago, brother. He's gone. I don't even know what we have over there. Good morning, Omar. Guys, not Omar. I've been looking forward to stream. Ready for the AMA Sunday. That is this Sunday. We gotta get some.
Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, we gotta get mimosas ready. Oh boy, I got some stories to tell. I got some stuff that just let out. So I hope you can join me, and if not, watch the replay. That's the engagement tier on Patreon, and then the replay.
$7.77.
And then anybody can watch it. That's $5 and above, I think. Is that what we have it?
Watching the replay.
Mm-hmm.
So if that sounds interesting to you, check out the Patreon link and at the bottom. It's
description of the video.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for asking, man. She is doing a lot better. We still have to go and do some checkups. She had surgery for the people that didn't know. Sorry about that. She did. I took her to the emergency room. She had to have emergency surgery. She was there for a couple of days. Came and she stayed with her. My dad stayed with us for about a week, and yeah, I think they're ready to go home. What's up, Bird? How are you, brother?
I was very, very grateful that she came home.
Yeah,
she sat around for the rest of the day. And then the next day, she's going around. She's so strong.
You all know Latinas, man. My mom does not sit around. She's got to get to work. And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing?
Please stop.
So she's doing a lot better. Thank you so much for asking, dude. Thank you. And it means a lot. I just got to go get her some checkups and stuff, but I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. Have birthday stuff to send, but Royal Mail International still down after the custom software got hacked. Hopefully in the post. My birthday? Oh, you're so kind, man. Thank you.
Custom software got hacked?
That's crazy. How long have they been down? By the way, I almost slipped it in there, but I'm trying to see my schedule. I've already filmed it, but the Judge Dredd Ongoing Journey Part 3 comes out finally. I've already filmed it. Just got to put it together. And it was so fun to get to relive. And what's funny is I'm looking at my notes that I wrote over a year ago when I was going to do these. And then I said, okay, I'm just going to do 13 through 24. And yeah, I changed it. Stop, say hello. I'll stay a few minutes and watch this stream afterwards. Thank you so much. And while you're here, hit that like button, please.
Ipsy said, over the moon with that first Iron Fist announcement. You made my month. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, man, for 50th anniversary. Hi, Omar. So I have the 3 Green Lantern Jeff Johns omnibus. Should I still get the newly announced Green Lantern Corps? How much is repeat? You're only going to repeat a few issues through the crossover of Sinestro Corps or the Sinestro War. And you're going to get the Green Lantern Recharge, which is the miniseries. I don't see that as a double dip because Green Lantern Recharge really is the beginning of Green Lantern by Jeff Johns and Green Lantern by Dave Gibbons and Patrick Gleason. So it is a new era. It's like I described it as getting the band back together again. Oh man, it was so cool, dude. Like they just went to do their own things. There were characters that were coming back to the Green Lantern Corps, characters that were dead, legacy characters. And it's so necessary to enjoy the story. So I don't see that as a double dip. The only double dip really will be the Green Lantern Sinestro War. Some of those issues were collected in the Green Lantern by Jeff Johns Omnibus Volume 1. Not too much double dip. Do I recommend it? 100%. At times, that title was better than Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. I loved it. I loved it, man. Yes, Super Laugh Hard. Thank you so much, man. And thank you for letting me know where your... Oh, you go ahead. Where to read that Judge Dredd annual, too.
Hey, guys. Absolutely love y'all. I watch you guys every day, and you make my boring days awesome. It's a good time catching y'all live. Quick question. Where do you recommend starting with Ghost Rider?
Where? By the way, thank you, Joshua. I'm a big fan of the Danny Ketch era, so the 90s era of Ghost Rider, which unfortunately has not been collected outside of 2 classics trade paperbacks that are long out of print. Right now, the good time to be catching up if you want to go back to the Silver Age Ghost Rider, and that would be the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. They're masterworks, but even better, a cheaper option is the Epic collections are coming out. And yeah, that's a good one. I'm wondering when they'll do a collection of Danny Ketch. Robbie Rodriguez also has collections too out there. Those are easily found. I will rejoin the book club someday, I promise. Only it's the middle of the night for me. Mega Shrimps, we need to see about changing that one day for you. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've been able to catch a live stream. Finally got my Hickman Avengers. Do you recommend reading Hickman's Secret Warriors before this? Yeah. As a matter of fact, on my video, I kind of gave the what to read before this, what to read before Hickvengers. And I will tell you something else, Jess. There's one book that they don't tell you to read, but I think it's important, and it's called Avengers World. It's out in complete collection. It never came out in oversized hardcover format. It just came out in complete collection. So, is it Robbie Rodriguez or Robbie Reyes? I'm sorry, it was Robbie Reyes. I love that character so much. I forgot his last name. But it is available in trade paperback, and you'll need it before you read volume 2, because there are some stories in volume 2 that you're going to be like, wait a minute, when did this happen? I don't remember this happening. It's Robbie Reyes. Roberto Rodriguez is not. He wishes he was a Spirit of Vengeance.
So we've got a couple of super chats. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah.
Get Jeff's first here.
Invasion of bars from multiple Earths. Is that what we're doing? How many bars in the chat? There's a real bar there? She gets offended at so many real bars.
There is an invasion of bars. No, I think she likes it. And we have SH. Thank you. Your top 3 superhero films that truly satisfied you.
Okay, and non-top, like not number 1, not ranking, but top 3, sure. Superman, the original Superman, Richard Donner. I love that film.
Good.
It's a beautiful film. I think he understood the character. He understood what Superman was.
The first Spider-Man.
It's a good one.
I had the whole thing memorized.
Ooh, this is where it gets tough. Okay, no, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. X-Men.
Yeah,
The X-Men 2000. Yeah, X-Men 2000 was just holy. Oh my gosh, they get it. They get Wolverine.
We're picking the start of franchises.
I know. They probably thought MCU, which I do have a lot of films that I love from the MCU.
Saying, like, I just noticed we're picking the.
Yeah. What about you? X-Men?
Yeah. I'll put X-Men up there, Spider-Man, and what's my favorite MCU?
Mine's Avengers to this day. I love Avengers. Avengers is. Oh my gosh! Nothing like that had ever been done in movies before. Where 3 movies came, I guess 4 if you include Incredible Hulk, to form one story that leads into this. And this is still a movie that could stand on its own. Never in the history of movies has that ever happened. At least here in America. And please correct me if this has happened ever anywhere else, though. Where, James Bonds were always like, James Bond will return and lives another day. Whatever. But this was so different. This was Avengers, Iron Man will return, and then Captain America will return, and then Avengers came out. And it was like nothing that I had ever seen before. It was insane. And the dialogue that, I know how some people feel about Whedon now, but the dialogue that he wrote, I'm so glad that it wasn't Zach Penn that ended up writing that stuff. That could have gone another way. But yeah, those are the ones that I think are still really good to me.
That's a good question. You guys chime in the chat what you.
Yo, what's up, Chris? How are you doing, brother?
Are you related to Mark Zimmerman? Perhaps
that's his son. Mark's coming to Kentucky. That's why he hit me up, and I would love to.
Wow, that's awesome.
I would love to, brother. Omar and Melanie, seeing your shirt.
Who owns the right to Thundercat comics? Oh, good question. I need me an omnibus.
It was Wildstorm for a while. And then Devil's Due. But I think Wildstorm might still own the rights, which means DC. I don't know. That's a good one. Winter Soldier's up there. Zach's
favorite comic movie soundtrack? Well, Spider-Man.
Superman.
Danny Elfman.
John Williams. Superman.
And Batman, 1989.
Danny Elfman.
Because it's Danny Elfman.
Dude, you hear the first note in the Flash trailer, and you're like, that's Danny Elfman. That's Batman. That's Batman. But John Williams for me. John Williams, Superman score. I don't know. It's the stuff of legends.
A fun tidbit, if you didn't know, Danny Elfman also wrote the Simpsons theme song.
Yes, I knew that one.
And another interesting tidbit, if you didn't know, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, the theme song.
Do not do that to this chat.
The CG one.
I'm having a bad morning, and you can't do that.
And for 2 seconds, let me tell my Starbucks story for this morning.
Oh boy. Here we go.
When I pulled up to get my order, the person said, "What's your favorite song?" And I said, "Birdhouse in Your Soul" by They Might Be Giants. And she was like, "Never heard of it. People say I don't have a large enough music repertoire." And I said, "Yeah, it's weird. It is from the 80s. The end.
That was a beautiful story.
Thank you.
I love the way you tell stories. Hi, can you help? What are the X-Men books to read between X-Men Omnibus by Claremont and Lee, volumes 1 and 2? I actually did 2 reading orders, but the latest one came out a year ago. It's Extinction Agenda and Days of Future Present. Those are the stories. Speaking of movies, did you guys see Torsten started an Oscars movie club in the Discord? If you want to be part of it, it's available to all patrons at a $5 tier. Yes, I did, and I was invited with Amanda, so thank you all so much for inviting us. I thought it was the higher, what's that club from The Office where they're reading a book?
What is that? Not finer things.
Finer Things Club?
Finer Things
That's what it
Club.
felt like when I got that thing. Oh, did they mean to send me an Oscar room invite? Zimmer. Oh, see, it's Mark Zimmer.
Oh my gosh, what a gaffe
Zimmer
I just did.
is room, and Zimmerman is carpenter.
Oh, well, there you go.
So never let a Zimmerman come into a Zimmer's house because he will remodel it. Loki had a great soundtrack. Transformers animated. Okay. If we're gonna go with that, then yes, Transformers
our kids
animated.
Love the
1986.
And my daughter got mad when I was singing along with one of the songs because she couldn't hear it, even though she heard it a million times. And then I got mad. I was like, I want to sing and have fun.
I think, and there's a difference between a soundtrack, right, and a theme. When I think of Superman, I can't help but think of John Williams' score, the theme. And there's nothing wrong with what's his name, Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel.
Zimmer?
Yeah. Indiana Jones, also John Williams. Whoa. What'd you say about Zimmerman's? You're not allowed to go into Zimmer's house because you're going to go and remodel his kitchen. He called you a carpenter. I'm not starting anything. I'm just saying, repeating what he said. If Amazing Spider-Man Omnis get high enough to Roger's book, what do you think they'll do? Remap it. Same thing they're going to do with Mutant Massacre. Really, the answer to everything was Uncanny X-Men Volume 5. The answer to everything, because that's a good question.
Okay.
Because it's something we've been wondering as collectors of these for years. How are they going to handle? You know, there were two options: map around the events, map around these creator omnis, or reabsorb everything and just start over from scratch. If you've been following the Marvel Masterworks, you knew the answer to that. You knew they were going to just start over from scratch. It's just the way they're mapped, but you'll get things like the letter pages in there. You might get stories that were not collected in the events. You'll get the full annuals in there. So to a lot of people, that, especially if they're new to the hobby, that was like, oh my gosh, how could they do this? But that solidified what they were going to do moving forward with all these books, whether it's Spider-Man or the Avengers or X-Men or, you know, long-running series.
So you're saying ASM volume whatever would
Yeah,
have the Roger Stern.
100%. They would not include his Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man stories. They would just include and I'll be honest with you. Here's something that people haven't thought about. You know, we think about how they're mapping things. They've already thought about how these books are going to be mapped. So by the time we get to Amazing Spider-Man volume, what do we need? 6, right? I don't think 6 is going to take us to Roger Stern. What I think is going to happen, and I don't know for sure, by the way, is we're going to get a volume 6, and it's going to end about 5 issues before Roger Stern's run starts. Because keep in mind, you're going to be double dipping a little bit anyway, because Roger Stern wrote some issues, went to Spectacular, and then came back to Amazing. So there are issues in between that were not collected. So what's going to happen is volume 7 will have about 90% of Stern's run and 10% of new stuff that has never been collected. I think that's what's going to happen. And then you have to make, and then you, as a collector, you got to make decisions. Oh, well, I'm just going to get the Amazing Spider-Man Omnis volumes as they move forward. And also think like how much longer you want to wait is the other issue. Because, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 6 and 7 will come, but how many years is it going to be in between volumes? Surely it's going to be at the very least 2 years.
So I was holding off on buying the Roger Stern Omni because I thought it would double dip a lot.
It will, but how many years is it going to be before you get there? At the very least, oh my gosh, maybe even 6 years.
So before we get to the next question, I would like to do my weekly shout out to Student of the Week.
I'll get some comments while you're doing that.
Because of, and I started that one, because I'm an English teacher and these students earned a shout out, extra credit and prizes and all kinds of good stuff. So in second period, we've got Kennedy for her work ethic and not giving up. Braden in third period for always being on point. And Tyler in fourth period, he's got some terrific writing. And Kevin in fifth period, again, for work ethic and not giving up. And then in sixth period, Trey, you got all your work in. And I know this was important to you. You definitely earned it this week. So congratulations, guys.
This one's signed by Andy Kubert and Fabian Niciesa. And when I talked to Fabian about this, I said, Fabian, you don't understand how much I love this issue. I stole a lot of your vows for my wedding vows.
I thought you were going to say stole the comics.
No, not still this comic, not this one. But I told him, and he was like, "Are you serious? Let me see this." So he started flipping through it.
Oh, he's the one that wrote it?
Yeah, but what's funny is like this will show you exactly what an editor's job is. This is one of 2 comics that Fabian Niciesa wrote. Comics for X-Men that are 100% him. He's like, everything else an editor took and rewrote, which is what an editor is supposed to do, right? Complete things and make them and flesh things out and make it sound like it's one voice, make it sound like it's connected to another comic book because you got to go and buy that comic book. But I thought it was really interesting that this is one of 2 X-Men books that he wrote that are 100% him. So when he looked at the vows, he's like, "Wow, you stole that?" And he's like, "That is really pretty, huh?"
He's like, I did do a good job. So a couple of people have asked about this. Following recent news about stories of life and times of Uncle Scrooge not being reprinted.
Mm-hmm.
Omar, do you see it happen to a specific story of Marvel Comics? So how about, and somebody else was just wanting your opinion about that first part as well.
How do I feel about it? I feel well, this is the Saturday morning stream, and I don't know how to work. I am upset. On my channel, I don't like censorship. I think it should be up to the reader. I think it's okay to have a stamp that says these are a product of their time. And Disney and Marvel, let me give you a little history lesson too. This isn't something new. This is something that has been happening for decades. When Dark Horse brought over 3x3 Eyes in 1995, 1996, they censored art without letting the artist, the mangaka, know about it. Viz, when they brought over Dragon Ball Z, they censored art. And that just really boils my blood. At least they had the decency, and I understand, I'm mad too, that to approach Don Rosa and let him know firsthand before letting the publisher know. I don't think this is a Marvel thing. I don't know 100%, but this felt like it came from Disney. And if Disney has been doing this with their movies, like for anybody that has seen Adventures in Babysitting, you know what I'm talking about. There are lines I've got of that movie memorized, but the Disney Plus version, what was that? I don't see it happening to Marvel yet because there's a difference in censoring a word, like the John Byrne Omnibus Volume 2, for those people that are, it was a derogatory racist word, and then leaving out the issue. When I did my overview, there were people upset that they censored out the word. And I said the alternative at this point where they're going with this is to take out the issue completely. And that is something that I would rather them not do. I don't want them to censor anything, right? I understand certain words trigger people, but I'm really upset about it. It really hurts to see my favorite, like top 10 favorite comic book stories of all time not being able to be published whole. It really sucks. And I understand that it's a kid's book, and keep in mind that's not where it's going to stop though. These characters that were censored, or that they're not, and this isn't a banning, by the way. I've seen articles that I was like somebody forwarded me articles that were like, the book banning at Disney has began. It's not book banning. It is a publisher deciding not to continue reprinting stories. That's different than a school and library deciding we are no longer going to be reading To Kill a Mockingbird or whatever. But it's a scary start. And I wish I could talk to somebody, because I think this is way above everybody right now. This is a decision made by Disney top, and it is in the life and it's in the life and times of Scrooge McDuck. So what you need, if you can get your hands on it, if you really want these stories, they just released that big beautiful book last year. It's $100, I think. No, $200. Sorry. So don't go that route. That's expensive. They have the Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck box set, and they have volumes 4 and 5 of the standalone hardcovers, or box sets 2 and 3 of the Don Rosa library. That means they can't reprint the complete Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck again, because of the character that Carl Barks created, which makes me think they're going to go back and also stop publishing the Carl Barks stories that feature those kind of characters. And I'll tell you something else. If this happens, then that's it for Astro Boy, because there's a big historical thing with that too, because Osamu Tezuka had no idea what black people look like. He based his art on the cartoons that he would see. So there's a very strong depiction, of racial stereotypes in Astro Boy and early Tezuka artwork, because he had never seen a black person. He's only basing it on the cartoons that he saw. So all those Astro Boy stories, the Blackjack stories, that stuff will never see print if they are going to follow through with this. If Disney is the start, and like I said, other publishers have done it. Dark Horse did it 20 years ago. Viz did it when they brought Dragon Ball Z over. I think there's only one printing of Dragon Ball Z that remains untouched. Sorry, I did not mean to stand on a freaking pedestal, but that kind of stuff really bothers me, and it's hard to keep my mouth clean when talking about the stuff that I'm passionate about, especially if it's a story that is so important to me that I love sharing with people, and now they can't read the whole thing. So it's upsetting, and I wish they could handle it better. I wish they could just put a I would even take a stupid freaking not stamp. Oh no, I take a stamp. Not even a sticker. I take a stamp on a book that says these are products of their time. There's, kind of what they did with what was it? Manga did it a lot with Tezuka's artwork. That's the reason why we didn't get the Power Issues or the old Captain Marvel stories. They just saw that there were too many racial stereotypes, so they pulled the book instead of putting a sticker on it. So that's it. I mean, that's what happened. Mr. Fropo, I mean, look at the DBZ. Mr. Popo from DBZ has been recolored in the DBZ in Japan. I don't even feel like playing the Japan GIF right now. To blue, right? So they can in the the Kai, Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Oh, sorry, I was laughing at Max. So Hamza says the early depictions of Black and Japanese people in comics actually wouldn't mind the art being altered, but to just not reprint them is odd.
Yeah.
So I'm with Hamza that I completely understand that if I were of that race, even not being of that race, just to see myself, the people depicted like that, yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm usually in the middle. That to completely get rid of something sucks. So like maybe that is a good like happy medium of this is a warning that like this is not meant to like where. Okay, so like you were saying in Astro Boy, it's not meant to degrade anybody. It was ignorance. However, I don't know. Those are just
but
those are my thoughts.
If these oh my gosh. In Judge Dredd, it's ironic. I just chose the story in Case Files number 13 as my favorite story of Judge Dredd in that volume, where he goes and arrests Mr. Toenail. That's his name. They go and arrest him because he is holding, or rather hoarding, information that the government does not want him to have. And all it is newspapers. All it is newspapers, old newspapers from 100 years ago. He's reading the obituary of somebody, and the gentleman is thinking to himself, why does the government not want me to read about this guy's existence? And at the very end, Judge Dredd is looking at the newspaper. He's like, it is really odd that who are they to tell us what we can't and can read? Why would they choose us not to read this stuff? And ironically, we hear about things like this. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if it's a done deal. I don't know if they're going to reprint the book, without that chapter, but it's just, those are just my thoughts on it right now.
Before we get to Bar Super Sticker, Somber Nightmare says, I was called Mr. Popo in high school.
See,
DBZ
not cool.
First came to here. It's not great.
No,
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. But then how do you learn from your mistakes if the mistakes were erased? We can't sugarcoat it that we are a perfect society, though. We got here for a reason because of the mistakes that we made along the way. So then how do you learn from your mistakes if your mistakes have been erased? Anyway, this is a completely different topic, and thank you so much for asking. Those are just my 2 cents.
It was a good civil discussion.
Yeah, with myself, because nobody's talking about it.
No, people were, because we're a positive, honest community, so we're being honest about it, but trying to see what is best to how to handle things with having respect and keeping in mind, like you said, that you don't want to just learn from mistakes. So Bar, I gave you your Joker. Thank you for the super sticker for Omar, with Supergirl being, I'm just going to say Omar.
No, I appreciate it.
With Supergirl being in the Flash movie this summer and a recent solo movie announcement, is it possible we'll get a new Supergirl series soon?
Oh, I would think so. I would think any of those. I mean, we're getting Peacemaker. We're getting that. What is it? The New Dawn or New DC? Dawn of DC, I think is what it's called. Yeah, we are getting a lot of those stories.
Super Laugh Hard. Yeah, you mentioned earlier.
Oh yes, I did. I filmed it already.
And then I was like, I wonder if he's in the chat. So Martin just started collecting Wolverine. Any chances of an Omni Volume 1 reprint?
I would say so, brother, because Volume 2 got reprinted recently with that new spine. So I think Volume 1 will come back with that new spine. I don't see it. I mean, it's Wolverine. I don't see them not reprinting it.
Let's see.
Yeah, and by the way, the whole censorship thing, yeah, it is a very interesting topic, but hold on, can you scroll up for a second?
Sure.
I just want to make sure. And it's also one I don't really get into because that tends to be very topical and people get really offended when you don't agree with them, or people get really passionate about these things. So I try to see things from both perspectives and then share my views on how I feel about these things. That's all. So I try not to make those. I made a joke when somebody sent me that article about the email, right? I got the email, the Don Rosa email, and I said, "Oh, I can't wait to see all the duck experts now on YouTube talking about the history of duck comics and Wikipediaing really quick. What is a duck comic? What is Don Rosa? I gotta destroy Disney. I gotta make sure I gotta destroy Disney. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying.
What
like,
pops up when you Google it?
And I'm like, I don't ever want to make my channel like that because it seems to be a hot topic, and I don't want to be like cashing in on the idea.
Hot topic, man. That was the store. My sister.
It's still there.
Boots there. Well, it was the store. I don't know now. My sister bought boots there for our wedding, and then I bought the same pair of boots because I liked them. What the Duck is a what I wrote. What is a Duck comic? What the Duck is a web comic that focuses on the theme of photography. Oh, okay.
Dread Video. One day we'll get Six Gun and Gun. I'm sorry, Goon. I would buy. Look, Adrian. He's got Scrooge. I would buy all Supergirl as long as it follows the tone by Tom King's Woman of Tomorrow. It's such a great rehashing of Supergirl mythos. It is out of print right now, but it is coming back to print. Omar recently read Batman Spawn 2022. Can't wait to see your new. The deluxe edition is coming out.
And
upcoming deluxe. Big fan of both characters as well as your channel. Thank you, buddy. And I can tell you're a big fan of the characters.
He's turning 18 in 5 days.
Dude,
Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gabriel. Happy birthday to you.
Dude.
You have the first name of the last name of David Gabriel. I just realized. That was supposed to be.
How long have you been following us, Gabriel? I feel like you were 13 or 14 when you started watching us. No hot topics in my town anymore. Malls are all dead. Rest in peace. There's another product of.
What is one Vertigo book you'd like to see put into an omnibus?
Shade, the Changing Man. I love that stuff. Peter Milligan and what's up, Sean DeSook? Peter Milligan and Chris Bachalo. I love to see that stuff put into an omnibus format someday. Starman into a proper omnibus. Just saying. How time flies. Nocturne's been following us since episode 1 of Not That Type of Pickle. I love that dude, so it makes me happy every time he. You're Canadian, aren't you? You're so sweet. You got to be Canadian. Not that all Canadians are sweet, Mike Lemon. That's a good stereotype.
Steve, how are you doing? Any more announcements for Conan this year? Modern omnibus?
I can't say anything yet, but yes, there will be more Conan announcements.
Yes, Shade the Changing Man.
Right. Who else wants that?
Exterminators.
That's a good one, and that would be an oversized hardcover too.
Never heard of the Changing Man. Adding it to my list.
You should. Everybody should read it. It's really
good.
And
Nocturne said, "LOL."
He is Canadian. I knew it.
I was 8 when I started following this channel.
You were not. Quit making me feel old. Let me see. Hold on a second.
Sure.
That one and that one.
Okay. Got myself Cloak and Dagger volumes 1 and 2 and the Runaways and Reversals trade. Looking forward to you announcing volume 3. Right? Wink, wink, nudge,
of
nudge.
Cloak and Dagger? You're like the only person that wants it. I'm glad you got volumes 1 and 2. I don't see those being reprinted for a long time. And speaking of reprints, the reprint poll should be out next week. So keep an eye on the channel, perhaps on Friday. Hey, Omar, love the channel. Any idea if they will reprint Tomb of Dracula Volume 2? Well, I've been trying for 2 years, but it don't get voted. Like,
Why don't you expound a little bit?
expound on it. So every year on Near Mint Condition, I do a poll where you all vote for your 5 most wanted Marvel Omni reprints.
And there will be a video with the link in the description.
And it is weighted,
Mhm.
weighted ranking. So your first choice will have the most points. Second choice, and then the video will be out next week with the link on where to go vote. As a matter of fact, I have to go and try the link today, so I'll send it to a couple. Maybe on Patreon, I'll send it to a couple of folks there so they can try it out.
Just to see if it works.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be part of Patreon to do
right. You don't. However, Patreons do vote for the next X-Men oversized hardcover, which will be between things like what's left now. Wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix and Phalanx Covenant as the extra book to add in there, like I did with Extinction Agenda. In the past, I added Inferno.
Wait. Is this like a suggestion or is it?
Yeah, so let me explain.
Okay.
In the past, I always picked like, Inferno's been out of print for a while. I'll ask if they can reprint that as an omnibus. The same thing with Fallen Mutants. Fallen Mutants oversized hardcover was out of print for a while. I asked if they could reprint that as an omnibus and put it on our list, and it's X-Men, so it's always the top one. Last year was the first time the book was not reprinted. And I feel like that may have to do with maybe the remapping, or it might be because they're slowed down on reprints. They left out 5 of our reprints from the top 20 last year. So last year was also the first time I let the Patreons vote for what X-Men oversized hardcover they would like to see put on the list. And they voted for X-Men, Extinction Agenda, Days of Future Present. So I'll do that the same again. I'll add that book to the list again, and I'll put another X-Men book up there, like Fall of the Mutants. Phalanx Covenant, or the what's the other one? Shattershot. Books like
it's
that.
A request.
Yeah.
Not an official like this will whatever you vote.
Yeah.
So definitely will be. It's not.
So whatever gets the most vote from that, I'll put on the list for people to vote on. And 9 times out of 10, it's an X-Men book. People usually want to see that get a new printing.
So I just want to say, Patreon is really active. There's a lot of stuff. So see if there's anything that fits your geeky
and it starts at $1. All right. Hoping for more.
Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you for super chat, brother. Hoping for more 2099 Omni announcements. 2022 would have been perfect for Doom, as it was his 60th anniversary. And next year is Punisher's 50th. Oh, man.
Pingu's laughing while reading Punisher and Doom.
Let's hope for some Punisher printings next year. That would be cool for his 50th. Doom got a Doom omnibus, and that was really cool. But a Doom 2099 would have been awesome. Because we got 2 Spidey 2099s and 1 X-Men 2099. That is a great question.
Which one?
The gentleman that was asking, or lady, I'm sorry, I saw it here. Yes, Seth, that is an excellent question. But before that, somebody asked JSA or Flash by Jeff Johns. JSA. That is my favorite thing he wrote. Will you be doing a video going over the out-of-print omnis? Yes. That's part of this, is gathering the information to see what's out of print. And it is a pain in the butt, because now we have 3 distributors instead of 1 that let you used to see how much it was in stock. If Diamond only had 5 omnis left in stock, you could see it. Now it's just a red dot, a green dot, I think it's a yellow dot, and PRH doesn't even have anything like that. So. Thank you so much, Talabar. Is that my dude from Boondocks? Just started watching the channel and love it. I'm looking forward to Spider-Geddon Omni. I hope it's in reading order. It is 100%. Yep, I did a small short. I guess that is a small short. A YouTube short on it about 3 or 4 months ago. I got it a long time ago. I got it back in October. But yes, it is in reading order. Rest assured, both Spider-Verse and Spider-Geddon.
I want to answer Robert's question. How does your day start at NMC? Emails, texts, phone calls? Starts by getting up and taking the girls to school, sometimes coming back and taking a nap so I don't make the bed. And then, because I leave after him.
You're making me sound lazy. No. I take a nap because I stayed up till 2 o'clock the previous night.
You've always been a night person. I go to bed, like, I'm not exaggerating, 95% of the time before him. Let's see. So then when I text him in the morning, he's usually reading, prepping for a video. No. Usually you get up and go ahead and film a video. But sometimes you got to prep for the video because you didn't the night before. Then you edit and you try to get that all done before a certain time, 11, 12. Then you eat lunch.
Mhm.
And then maybe you have a one-on-one consultation scheduled in there, or you have to take your parents to the doctors. Otherwise, it is getting ready, trying to be ahead with videos and reading and doing the things like researching with red, yellow, and green dots and, and emails and text. And no, wait a minute. You are a little bit like, you don't set aside time for emails. You go like, oh, I got an email, da, 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 and then you go back. Oh, I got an email. Da, da, da.
Well, it depends,
Is
right?
that correct?
That's sort of correct.
Oh, okay, okay.
I love the fact that you threw me under the bus with he takes a nap. You should have started when you stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning editing a video because things are working against you.
If you work from home, like
it's just understood.
I'm sure many.
I bet a lot of people that work from home are like, I don't get a nap in. What are they talking about?
No, whatever.
When does Omar wash the dishes? Thanks, James. I appreciate that.
No,
I have daughters for that. I have 2 little girls that can do that. Hey, what's up, Logan?
Dishwasher now. We used to not have one. Now we got a dishwasher.
Hey guys, hope all is well. Just came to say hi, like this video, everyone, because Omar's got to eat. I appreciate that, Lohit. How have you been, brother? Omar not being a morning person. My man, dude, I hate mornings.
Shout out to Final Shadow for doing the timestamps on these videos.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I'm mapping Omar. Omar's mapped by Omar.
Oh man, let me tell you, I'm so happy that, like, Peter, he melted my heart, man. I love that dude. Crushing Crisis, Peter. We're gonna start back Map My X and maybe do some Map My Epics with my buddy Curtis and get my buddy Aaron involved in that. So yeah, he's just like, Omar's so worried we think he's lazy because he started out with a nap. All right.
Because it's a funny anecdote.
Then Melanie naps too, molding your.
She
tries.
I'm not good at napping.
Oh, yeah, you know how most normal people take a nap. They wake up going, that was refreshing and so nice. Melanie wakes up going like, I wish I was dead.
Really, it hurts. Yeah.
Thank you, Bar, for the super sticker. What is your soft cover question?
Wait, one more time with the blink. Okay, so, oh, there we go. Bar. I prefer hardcover, Melanie. You're all right too until I found a reason to cancel you. Oh my gosh!
Why are you trying to cancel me, man?
Omar, don't worry. I take naps too. Oh, good.
Thank you.
Brian's just here for your Thundercats shirt.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. It's
Thundercats,
right, dude? But I've always been a firm believer in naps, even before kids, because I was a night owl. I go out to parties. I'd go out to clubs. I come home after work, take a nap, and then I'd be out till 2 or 3 in the morning. That was just the way that my mind has always been. Still in Madrid, been staying up till 4 a.m. at least and sleeping until noon. Back to reality Wednesday. My brother, you're in Madrid. I love that place.
Let's see. Hi, Omar. Any news for New Mutants?
Oh my God, look at this. No news yet. Maybe sometimes. I cancel Omar for taking too many naps. I appreciate it. Earl Smith, okay. Good morning, Omar, and have a good week. Thank you, you too, brother. What's up, Angel Marquez?
What are the 5 Omnis not reprinted from last year's poll? Do you know off the top of your head?
Oh yeah, put it on our Patreon. Sorry, hold on a second.
It's hard to call people on Patreon
patrons,
and it's easier just to say our Patreons.
Yeah. Okay, so in the reprint poll, X-Men Extinction Agenda, Days of Future Present, Uncanny X-Force, Punisher Max by Jason Aaron, Omnibus, Spider-Man, Clone Saga Omnibus Volume 2. I'm sorry, when I recorded the video where I announced Clone Saga 1, I wasn't in the right state of mind. And I explained because a lot of things happened. And then Punisher Max by Ennis Volume 1. Those are the 5 that didn't get reprinted. But for a company that had to put a stop to reprints for a couple of months to catch up with all the new books, that's pretty good out of 20. 15 out of 20. So
really appreciative to the people at Marvel for taking everyone's opinion into account.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my list, right? This is your list. My list would have been a little bit different. Doing Dracula 1, 2, 3, Werewolf by Night, and Silver Age Thor Volume 2.
Maybe eclectic. El
Patrons.
El Patron. Oh, yeah.
What did Johnny Depp call? Patroni? I think he misunderstood how to pronounce patron, and he called him Patrine. I can't remember. Anyway.
Bar, yes, that's true. It's Thursday, not the weekend.
Yeah. Where are you at, Bar?
Israel. So I get to hear how to pronounce your name. Flint says we don't get nearly enough X-Men Omnis. How dare they not reprint those?
Oh my goodness, my goodness, the comments. I had to reply back to somebody because they said, like, this is the X-Men 60th anniversary. How did they? It's that. What did they say? I was like, they forgot about X-Men. So I went through the list. I wasn't being a smart aleck. I was just like, there are 7 X-Men Omnis coming, X-Men related, including X-Men 5. That's huge. Can you imagine being the guy that likes, I don't know, Darkhawk? I'm only here for Darkhawk. Let's look at how many Omnis there are. Well, that sucks. At least I can collect them in Epic, right? Nope. Maybe a trade paperback from a long time ago? Yeah, it's out of print. Like, putting things into perspective, we get a lot of Spider-Man and X-Men, and it always cracks me up to see 1 or 2 people going, where are the Spider-Man Omnis? It's like, they were just like 2 weeks ago I announced some. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to leave you. Just walk through the kitchen. Got to get to cooking. Busy night.
Oh, have fun.
My brother, thank you so much for being here. Hit that like button on the way out. To be honest,
you're talking about napping and never get old. Sleep is the most exciting part of your day. I wrote this
never get old, brother.
I wrote a haiku about my pillow. I love sleeping so much, and I named it Tatiana. It means I'm home, whatever the Japanese word for it is. And like, if you guys know the Brack show, he's asleep and he's talking to himself. He's like, I love sleeping. Wish I could wake up so I could go sleep again. That's me. Darkhawk Omni will be right behind the Sleepwalker one. Sleepwalker one.
Darkhawk is one I want so bad besides Ghost Rider.
Isn't there a new Darkhawk run going?
I don't know. I don't keep up with new runs, honestly.
I don't think you were saying 5 X-Men Omnis that are upcoming. Wait. Where you were listening to
7.
5 that
There's 7 X-Men related Omnis that are coming out this year. So, like Uncanny 5, X-23, X-Men 2099, X-Factor by Peter David Volume 3, Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4. This is 5 right there. Phoenix. I even counted Phoenix. Did I count Phoenix? Maybe I didn't even count Phoenix Volume 2. And what was the other? There's another one. So there's 7 so far.
Mm-hmm. Gotta wait on those Tomb of Dracula and Werewolf by Night till we get Masterworks retouches. Patience.
And let me tell you something, Sergeant Savage. There's definitely a difference, right? You have people that want those books. They're in their 50s. And I always think of my buddy Brian. Brian wanted to see, Bob. Bob, I've shared a story with my 1 year as a YouTuber celebration or video that I did. Bob passed away of cancer a couple of years ago. Oh man, I can't even tell that story without freaking breaking down. But he wanted to see all of Conan collected in omnibus format. It broke my heart that he didn't. He was, fighting cancer, and he loved Omnis because his eyesight was going. So he's like, Omnis are great, man. So I sent him a couple of books. David sent him a couple of books at the hospital because he couldn't read trade paperbacks or single issues. So Omnis had bigger his eyesight could read those Omnis. And I think he made it to, and I told him about volume 7. That was actually one of the last times we spoke. I was like, volume 7 is coming, man. You gotta hang in there, Bob, that we're going to see this through. So, for all the people that hated on Conan was a little special to me because of people like Bob, like that loved that stuff and wanted to see that on his bookshelf. So my point is that, there are people that are younger that are like, where's Spider-Man? Where's Ultimate Spider-Man 4? And then you have people that are in their 50s and 60s waiting to collect this older stuff. So it makes sense for people to be impatient. So when people are like, have patience, I understand, we want to see these through. And people have made comments on the video like, hey, I'm in my 70s. I would love for Marvel to have all of Iron Man because I can't go back to the Masterworks. I didn't have a chance to get those. So I understand where they're coming from. Worked out 6 weeks in a row, eating healthier, drinking only water and hot Japanese green tea.
Wow.
Udon just announced a collab on Capcom on Street Fighter 6 prequel series. Not only that, brother, but did you see IDW and Udon are collabing on Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter? How cool
that's
is that?
cool.
How cool is that,
That's
brother?
cool.
How cool is that? So yeah,
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. That's good for you, man. Stay healthy, brother. Stay healthy.
Can you get the Usagi Yojimbo book behind you? I believe that's what
the box set or the.
I think that. No, whichever. Which one? They was asking about the Dark Horse behind you.
Oh, the Dark Horse.
So I'm assuming it's the.
This is the Dark Horse books. This is being reprinted again, even though they swore they would never reprint this. Fantagraphics. These are the original 7 volumes of Usagi Yojimbo. The hardcover comes back to print. Yes, I do need more Street Fighter DBZ. Lionheart in the chat. And then these are the Usagi Yojimbo continuation of those stories. So this would be like volumes 8, 9, and 10. These are published by Dark Horse. And they did a small printing. The problem, let me show you the problem they did with these. And I think everybody knows this story that has been following my channel.
While eating soup.
The problem with these is that they only did a print run of 900 for the first one, right? So this is like 71 out of 900.
Look how cute that is.
Can I see this one, baby, before you break my spine on it?
Well, I guess you should have stretched the spine on every single book you own.
Volume 2 moving forward. Not sure if you can see that. Did a print run of 1,500. 1,500. Meaning if you bought this, only 900, okay? Now, I'm not a mathematician, but Melanie, what happens if you bought this and you wanted volume 2, right? And you wanted to continue that? You had a better chance of getting volumes 2, 3, and 4, right? Because 1,500, 900, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you bought a volume 2 and said, oh, I need to go back and buy a volume 1? Your chances are slim of trying to find a volume 1. And that was a big mistake. Later on, they did a reprint of...
Is this the reprint?
No, this is the original.
Later on... get that?
I had it since day one. It's Usagi Yojimbo.
Right,
This is the Home Collected Editions.
Only 900 copies, though. That seems like really difficult to get a hold of.
They corrected their mistake years later and reprinted this at 600 more copies. So those are even more rare. The second printing,
600,
because they wanted people to get a chance to have like a set, but that never works because you always have flippers. So they bought like 30 copies and they're like, I'm going to hold on to these. And that's what happened. So instead of doing a non-limited edition print run, which they should have done, they should have taken out the little, what is this called? The plate, right? The little drawing plate here at the beginning. It's nice, but if they could have just done this book without that, people would have been happy. It would have been great. So Dark Horse, you know, I would love.
So you said
they're reprinting. It's in stock right now. If you
so Jared,
the box set is coming back to print.
The box set. Oh, here, Mike.
I did like Thunderbolts.
Reed said Usagi box set is currently available now, but stock is low at Diamond.
So if you're wondering, go and order it from Reed Comics or Comics Bugle or Walt's Comic Shop or cheapgraphicnovels.com. Wherever you order your books, tell them you want it so they can order it. Because Diamond still shows that yellow, right, for low stock. Thank you for that, Reed.
Let's see. Michael was asking because now I can't find it again. Your opinion on Nisiesa.
Thunderbolts. Loved it.
No, specifically somebody.
Oh.
Some character.
I don't know.
And Michael had been asking for a while. There we go. I found it.
Okay.
Scourge. Thunderbolts.
Oh, I'm okay with that because remember, Grunwald left it open for Scourge. Scourge, by the way, was a character created in Mark Grunwald's run of Captain America that was like in the little bitty 2-page stories that were interludes. He was going around and offing or killing villains. And the identity of Scourge was always a mystery, and it was revealed. And without going into spoilers, he left it open. So Fabian Nicieza brought the idea of Scourge back in his run of Thunderbolts. I'm actually going to ask about that. I'm going to get with Melanie about sending out a email with me. She better writer than me. So Fabian brought back the character, the idea of Scourge in the pages of Thunderbolts during his run after he took over Kurt Busiek's run. So yeah, absolutely. I love it, man. Thunderbolts is just one of those series that I hope people are reading for the first time and enjoying it. As much as I like to collect Spider-Man omnis, I would really love to see a Dark Hawk collected, or Alien vs. Predator, or New Warriors Volume 3. I'm surprised that we don't have an Alien vs. Predator or Predator 2. I hope the numbers for Predator was good enough to get a Predator Volume 2. Willie Tanner.
Is that from Full House? The Tanners? Who's Willie Tanner?
That wasn't it. Misheard. I thought you said someone named Skirk. No, Scourge. Scourge was Alf. Scourge was all of us in the end.
Alf is life. Joseph says, Omar, I just got the early years Black Panther Omni. I was wondering if there's enough material to make more Black Panther books, and if so, do you
think Marvel
will make them?
Yes, I think so. I think yes. First answer is yes. There is material because the run continued into the Marvel Comics Presents era. You had Jack Kirby taking over the book. So the Don McGregor stuff still needs to be collected in omnibus format.
Alf. Willie Tanner's Alf. I was like, I know that name.
So I wanted you to ignore it. Nobody brings out Alf in the chat anymore. Any chance of a Harrow County? That is something that I'm going to be asking about the reprints of those books. Scourge was the friends we made along the way. Thank you for that, DBZ All-Star. That's where I was going with that.
Manga haul?
I do have a manga haul. My non-manga haul will be out this Sunday, but I also have a manga haul. So how dare you, Melanie, not remember that?
I can't remember what I did last week. I recently did a Crime Gown Gems video, and 2 of the books I chose were from Scout Comics. Got any favorites from Scout? I feel like they're a publisher that needs more love.
They do. What did they do? What did they do that I really liked? Dang it, Ben. Uncles. Just had to put me on the spot.
I don't think I have. I definitely checked out their booth at Heroes Con and bought some coffee.
You bought some coffee from them?
Yes.
Let me see their catalog here. Oh, and speaking of catalog, I need to get with not Mad Cave.
Unicorn Vampire Hunter. Cool.
Okay, is that a Ric Flair book? I need to get in touch with them.
Who's Ric Flair?
Are you serious?
I couldn't remember Willie Tanner. Who's Ric Flair?
I can't believe we're married.
Stop it.
Nature Boy Ric Flair? He's a wrestler.
Oh, well then that's why I
You grew up in Kentucky. How'd you not watch wrestling?
See,
that's what we call it.
That's what I thought.
Wrestling.
So we're skimming through.
I know I've read some. I'm trying. Okay, I've read that one. I can't.
Hey, Granite State Punk looks cool. Gut Ghost.
Hench Girl.
Cool. Hench Girl.
Hench Girl.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Okay.
And Kristen, the lady that wrote it and drew it.
She's really sweet.
She is adorable. I want to interview her. Actually, I don't even want to interview her. I just want to invite her on the show to hang out with me. She was so super sweet. I'm not replacing my wife. I'm just saying.
No,
super
that's
sweet.
just hi.
Look, everybody's doing the Ric Flair. Woo!
I was like, what are they excited about? I do not need a refund on my childhood. I loved my childhood. I had a good childhood. Thank you very much. It's magical.
Look,
magical.
They're all doing it now.
What happened to the child? My gosh, there's so many.
Oh yeah, I think you and Bart are the only 2 people that don't know Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Okay. Nature. So why was he Nature Boy?
That was his thing. Because everybody had a name. Randy, Macho Man, Savage.
But what made him naturey?
I don't know. He walked in with a bird and a tree. No, he didn't do that. I don't know.
Like it always sunny. What was
the Bird Boys or the Pigeon Boys?
Yeah, something stupid.
All right. How's it going, Dana? Any chance of a Silver Age Daredevil Omnibus Volume 1 getting a reprint soon? Not that I've heard. I just asked my wife, and she didn't know who Ric Flair. Where'd you grow up, though, Jerry? My wife grew up in Kentucky, which is like
I watched British sitcoms.
What is this place called? It's Tornado Alley, right? That's what. By the way, Tornado Alley is the strip across America that tornadoes touch down a lot. It's unfortunate, but we live here. Tornado Alley also maps perfectly with Wrestling Alley. People that usually are in these areas love wrestling. How did you not watch any of this?
The weather's passionate.
And so is the wrestling.
Yeah, with Kentucky being in the middle of the country with the cold air, the warm air meeting, like it's 60 one day and this week, and then the next day it's above 60, and then it was 32.
Gosh dang it, him too.
30 degrees easily. Or races.
Essay. That's What is SI? Do you know? Thank you for sharing that, Razor Ramen. I had no idea. Great. Dang it. I didn't know about that. I haven't seen Ric Flair or talked about him in years. It's a huge state for wrestling fans. Thank you for that. Yes, it was. Good morning. He's okay. So Jerry's in the home of the first UFC. What's up? How's it going, Doug? That's my buddy. He's a big animal lover. Doug shelters animals. Doug has sold books to buy animal food. That's how much he loves animals. He is a wonderful human being, and I'm so happy to have him in this community. If you've bought a book from Doug Adams, that money will usually go to like stray dogs or stray kittens, mainly dogs. He shelters a lot of animals. He's a wonderful human being. Serious question, Omar. How many panels have been censored change in the Omnibus release? In any of them?
Wow.
Okay, without going into the books that DC did not print that were coming out, because they completely did not print that stuff. 1, 2, 3. In the recent printings of like John Byrne's Fantastic Four Volume 2, New Mutants Omnibus Volume 2, the gallery edition of God Loves Man Kills, I can think of 4. Oh, Jonathan Hickman's X-Men, or Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four Volume 1. They took out the how do I say it? It's not a racial slur. It's a derogatory term for somebody with mental disabilities. They took that word out, replaced it with something else. So 5, I think I can think of in the latest ones. Thank you for that, Cody Owens. I had no idea. Ric Flair's.
Chris Gold, thank you so much for the super chat. When the New Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis ever get Volume 2 Omnibus, I finally managed to get the out of print Volume 1 Omnibus on eBay for a decent price.
I'll be honest with you, brother. If they ever reprint that book, they would have to reprint that Volume 1 first. That's how they'll do it.
Let's get. I know you're looking for something, but then we get the super chat, and then
Ric Flair's being is to be celebrated. I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. Well, nope. None of us are in the know here, so I had no idea. So I thank the people that brought it to our attention. And it's not like we talk about wrestling here. It just happened to be looking at the titles that were available, and my wife didn't know who Ric Flair was. That's all it is.
So we've got the super chat, and then we'll do the waltz jingle.
All right.
There you go. Supreme Omega, thank you for the super chat. I know you liked Tiny and Detective
Tiny
Comics.
Onion.
I didn't like it. I didn't like his take on Tim, Steph, and Cass. They don't feel like pre-New 52 Tim, Steph, and Cass.
Well, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not the Tim we grew up with. I thought his handle on Steph was better than his handle on Cassie, though. They don't feel like pre-New 52. I think out of those, it felt like Steph more than it did Cassie and Tim Drake. Tim Drake, of course, that was at the time when DC also didn't know what to do with the character, so they changed up the character of Tim Drake in the New 52. So it's a different Tim Drake, especially with his background, him being a Robin, and then they did Red Robin and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, and Jeff has a super chat. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Falk's Phantom is 86 this year, 3 years older than Soups. Wish Hermes would reprint gold key hardcovers. They've just done the strips, right? They're only doing the comic strips of Phantom. I don't think anybody has put out the hardcovers of that stuff.
Let's see. So we just want to give a shout out to Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany, because they have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC big books within the EU, and flat shipping rate of 12 euros for all EU countries, and emails answered within 24 hours. So if you're looking for new titles, out of print books, try waltzcomicshop.com. If you're over the pond, across the pond, is that how you say
Across
it?
the pond's good.
Exclusively for our viewers, you can use the code Near Mint Condition, all one word, at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of 40 euros. And even if you don't live in an EU country, but you live closer to Germany than, America, check them out. So it'll be cheaper shipping. So that's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omni and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting, ting, ting.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, your face is nice and warm.
So again, we're not celebrating anybody here on the channel. We just make mistakes because we don't keep up with the current state of everybody's life. So apologies for that if you were offended.
Let's see. Do we have any artwork?
Not today.
From this week. Our email address
no artwork.
is nearmancon@gmail.com. And our P.O. box, if you'd like to send something physical, Near Mint Condition, P.O. Box 1678, Versailles, Kentucky 40383. And man, we have so much fun opening up packages. So thank you so much for whenever people send us stuff. And Max says, I love Melanie's flirting techniques. Ooh, your face is nice and warm. It's always cold down here.
She's good at that.
Oh no, Lionheart just finished getting his hair did. Trivia question for you. What issue in Amazing Spider-Man does Mary Jane make her first cameo appearance? I don't know.
Was it 30? It's the one where she's hiding behind the plant. You don't see her face. 30 something. Oh, what the heck was it? Omar, did you end up liking Spider-Verse Omni? I did, but that's my kind of story. The same thing happened in this. I don't even like Power Rangers, and I love that kind of story. This is Shattered Grid, by the way. So it's pretty much an idea of Spider-Man from across the multiverse teaming up together to take down Morlun and his family because they're eating Spider-Men, Spider-folk. That's how they live. They're vampires that feed off of spider people. By the way, my comment was to the person that mentioned Ric Flair not to be celebrated. Okay, and I wanted to clarify that we don't do that here, especially if we know. But if we don't know, I apologize. Sometimes things like that happen, and I just want to clarify that I don't.
It's hard to know everything.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah. Well, that too. What is this? All these people, it's a magical place where books are all over the floor. And Amanda and I did a video, and she wants to do another one where we have to.
Things are all over the floor.
They are, brother. They are. I just called you brother. Sorry.
Okay.
They are all over the floor. It's like a dump truck just went boop, 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 back to the shop and dumped all the books out. But yeah, it's great for discounted, liquidated books. 4 years ago, Amanda and I did a video on it, and it both became a curse and a blessing. That video performed so well. So that was a blessing, a curse, because now everybody knows about Ollie's, and it used to be my secret place. Now everybody, so when I go to Ollie's, they ain't jack squat. I got to go to Ollie's like in these little bitty towns now. I read the entire Why the Last Man Omnibus this week, all time.
Wow.
Wasn't it beautiful, man?
And thank you for the super chat. Alf! Omar, I consider House of M the beginning and
AVX the end.
With Messiah trilogy in the middle. Any chance of getting the Messiah omnibus? And we also really need a Fatal Attractions omnibus.
I would think so. By the way, this year I am gonna be working with Tiger Eyes from the Marvel Masterworks Forum, where you all can send in your most wanted omnibus through an email, and then he gets, we'll look at it together and pick out the top 50, and I'll announce the top 50. And sometimes I share that with Marvel, and maybe that's where they got idea for maybe 1 or 2 books. So it's great. It's wonderful.
Bar, I apologize for missing your super sticker. It is a question for me.
First of all, how are you feeling? Hardcover. She's hardcover.
Oh, you know that by now.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the kiss. First of all, how are you feeling? You seem a bit tired down today. Second of all, what are you reading right now? My sweet strawberry flavored lollipop. Oh my gosh, you're turning my head, Bar. Thank you for asking. I am tired. Just to be honest, I'm going through a medication change, so it really is. It's really hard. And secondly, not that much. I read half. Actually, you don't even know. I read half of the Our Little Secret last night.
It was rough, huh?
Yeah, and I think it's about sexual abuse and what this woman went through in her childhood. And the way she shares her story is really amazing, and she's teaching without like being preachy or anything. Like, she's teaching people who may have gone through that. This is what happened, and this is what you can do.
And not to interrupt, but follow up on that. I have always been intrigued by those kind of stories because I like to keep my family safe and to see things to look for in people. And yeah, it's one that she reached out to me to review. And it's going to be a hard review because the subject matter, of course, right? And but there's a lot to learn from it, especially when you get to the end, when you find out what the point of the book was. It'll make you angry.
What?
But
like I have with it's gonna make me angry.
You'll see. But
well, I mean,
it's important.
Anyway,
but it's important to
ending?
know why it had to be done.
Like I want it to be
okay.
everything to be okay.
Okay. Everything's gonna be good.
All right.
Brother, I love the influence and voice you have at Marvel is willing to listen to you to us via you. I wish DC would do the same as a DC fanboy. And it's not for lack of trying, right? I think I've shared that with you all. It's not for lack of me reaching out. I just reached out to them last week, and again, emails ignored. I'm going to reach out to them this week to let them know about the Green Lantern Corps Omnibus to see if they can add issues. It's not for lack of trying. It's just they might be too busy, and it's not that I hold anything against them because I still do books of. Look, Viz done messed me up 2 years ago, and I still review books by Viz. I don't even ask for books from them anymore until they change PR because I don't like dealing with the current PR era at Viz Comics. I miss my old PR people there. So I don't hold any grudges towards the publishers. I think one of the comments that really upset me was, why do you do so much Marvel? Like, this is why people don't know about DC. That's not true. It's just that Marvel releases a lot. And yes, Marvel also sends me stuff. If DC was doing the same, I would love to do that, but they don't. And I still buy DC books to do on my channel.
Also, go watch a DC-centered channel.
Oh, yeah.
Just an idea.
DC United.
Just go
or
find
whatever.
Somebody that does more DC.
But it is hard to review books when the books aren't there, though. Hi, folks. Hope all is well. Just left Quantumania for thoughts. Pretty dope. Anyway, what I missed? I'm so glad you liked it, man. Also reading Criminal for the first time. Oh, you are in for a treat with Criminal. Oh, that's awesome. I forgot about this
last week.
You don't show that one enough.
I just got it last week. So, Matt, thank you for the super chat. And we're glad you enjoyed Ant-Man and
Quantumania.
Yeah.
Jonathan Winters, man, that dude is killer. Huge. Can't wait to see Creed 3.
So she first appeared her
25.
face until issue 42, which is the Answer to Life universe and everything.
Yes.
Buenos dias, Omar y Melanie.
Viva Peru, carajo! I love that band.
Thank you.
You have a Peruvian flag?
Chat.
You have a Peruvian flag?
And
I'll give him that one. That one's cool.
You know what? There we go. There's a weird Wolverine walking. Our daughter, when she dumped out all her Valentine's Day candy from
some little boy
sharing in the class, this kid, he made something specifically for each student, and he made Alicia a
little Peruvian flag.
Peruvian flag. I was like, that is so cool. I said, let's put it on the fridge. That was so thoughtful.
Jonathan Majors. Did I call him something else? Winters. Did I call him Winters again? I did that last night with Amanda. Why am I doing that?
Majors.
I don't even know Jonathan Winters. How's everybody's day? Started off really rough, I ain't gonna lie, but it's getting better. I love hanging out with you all.
So James and Josh mentioned this earlier.
Yes, I will be reaching out to them again for Dark Horse interviews. Yeah, I will definitely be reaching out to see. She agreed to it. So we'll see. Just to play it safe now.
Okay.
Since Extinction, can you go to Dean?
Yeah. Single issue Omar.
Who wrote that? Who's single issue Omar? Since Extinction Agenda Days of Future Past is not reprinted, yes, I will put both of them up there. Whatever the new one the patrons vote for and the Extinction Agenda. I'll be happy to do that.
And which is voted by patrons, so if possible. So everybody's going to vote. It's just a test to make sure that everything works with is it a Google form or whatever?
Yeah, it's a Google Doc that
that's just to
like,
test it out.
Like make sure there's no double entries by the same person or the same IP and things like that.
Justin said, I'm all caught up reading.
My man!
Just waiting for 4 more books arriving later this month. Literally don't know what to do with myself in the interim.
You go to your local comic book shop, Justin. You tell them Omar from Near Mint Conditions sent you their way, and you don't get any percentage off because that means nothing to them. And you buy books off the shelf.
Jonathan Winters is an actor that plays King in another universe. Yes.
Thank you for that joke. Finally, somebody made that joke. Okay.
You could go to the library, maybe. Hey, how do you manage floor space? Do you have to move your collection?
I love Pluck. I actually commented on that. Did I trim my collection? I have in the past, and I still do. I've given away a lot of books. And I'm looking at a lot of books for our next giveaway right now. So what I do is I kind of plan it out. When we moved here, this was an empty, this was a fresh new canvas. And
we had to have a basement that was open.
Because I'm also a collector of some toys, and I'm also a collector of physical media.
Some.
Okay, easy, baby.
It's a lot.
You threw me on the bus.
No, I'm saying you should be proud of your collection. It's not just some. It's a
I have a lot.
Large quantity.
I have a lot of Transformers. I don't even watch Power Rangers, but I love giant robots, so I got a lot of Power Rangers. People are gonna be surprised.
X-Men Legends. You got you got all
my shoujo figures, One Piece, Mega House statues. So I got rid of my big statues because there's just no room. Like realistically, there was just no room for all that. So how I manage space is like if a book is coming out in omnibus format, it's my preferred format. So I used to sell the epics or sell the oversized hardcovers and then get the omnibus. That's the way I would do it. So there's no double dipping and there's no need to keep both. Now I kind of keep both because I do reading orders or in case I need to do a comparison video. Because I remember I was trying to compare the Daredevil book with the Epic collection or the Masterwork, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I gave that away already, so I can't compare it. Omar, would Willem Dafoe make a better Joker or Two-Face? Two-Face.
That's why I said Two-Face.
Mainly because of that scene in Spider-Man and Sam Raimi where he's looking in the mirror, and it's kind of the Smeagol take, right?
Gosh,
going back and forth with himself.
How could I not remember? We counted. Me and the girls counted how many books. What do we
over 4,000?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Not just manga.
The video. Yeah, we didn't do the manga either. It was just the comics.
That is an awesome avatar, dude.
What?
I think
guys help us out.
I think it was
4,000. Stupid video. I can't even remember.
Okay, it's not a stupid video. Why would you say
that?
No,
I'm sorry. I meant that I can't remember.
And at this moment, I just want to remind everybody to smash that like button, please. It goes a long way for us.
Supreme Omega, thank you for the super chat. Let me find a DC one. On Devin Grayson.
Oh, gosh. Devin Grayson's run.
It's a shame her Nightwing run sucked because I liked her work on Titans, Gotham Knights, and Arsenal Mini and Nightwing.
Yeah, it's over 4,000. I think it was like 4,017, 4,018.
Okay, this is DC. I'll give you Batman again. I just really like that. Thumbs up, thank you.
This is so ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
Your opinion.
Yes, it did. Because I liked her work on Titans, Gotham Knights, and the Arsenal Mini, and Nightwing and Huntress Mini. Her run was so out of character, and there's one big thing that kind of I don't want to spoil for two reasons. It was messed up and wrong, and also it's a big part of the story. Like what happens to a big character. I didn't answer his super chat of the Flex one.
Get a roguish type. The only one I like so far is Starscream for the Transformers I showed you. I don't know what happened. I don't know if editorial got involved or what happened. But no, I was not a fan of her run. Would I buy an omnibus? Absolutely. Are you going to get those figures? I don't know. I'm still on the fence. Optimus just shipped, and so did Megatron. So I'm thinking about probably not. For the same reason that gentleman was talking about space and limiting my space. I will eventually run out of space.
New reprint Preacher, the same as the previous. Yes, it has the exact same content as the previous volumes. However, they will have the DC Black Label logo instead of, you can't see them, instead of the Vertigo bottom at the very bottom.
Thank you for the super chat.
And thank you for the super chat.
I just realized I recently watched a video talking about flipping scenes in movies. And they use this scene as an example of flipping a scene because of space. It was a very interesting video. I learned a lot. All right. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, because I was going to go for the super chat. Let's go all the way back down to Jeremy. Hi, Melanie and Omar. I was gifted the Dini Batman Omnibus, but I'm not sure when to read it. Does it go before, after, or along Morrison's run?
It goes along Morrison's run. However, it doesn't collect everything. But the beauty of that is that the beginning, the detective stories, read like, by the way, if you're not familiar with Paul Dini, he's the gentleman that wrote a lot of the episodes of Batman animated series. So they read like Batman animated series episodes, and it's wonderful at first. And then you get to like the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, and you're like, wait a minute, what happened? What are they talking about? So that is not in the omnibus by Morrison. There's no recap pages in this one, unlike Morrison's. That's actually in the, there is a hardcover of it and then soft cover of that one. But yeah, you can read it along with it.
If I could fit 2 unread series in my March budget, which deluxe volume 1 should I get between Criminal, Lazarus, Berserk?
Berserker.
No, Harrow County.
Are you talking about?
There's a correction. No, Berserk.
Berserk. Can you go back to the options again? Only 2, right? Only 2?
Yeah.
Oh, Berserk.
And remember, give it a chance. Let it get to the Golden Age arc with flashback.
Give it to volume 2. Gosh, this is hard. Criminal. Oh, and Lazarus is so good at world building, though. Lazarus is coming back to print. Yeah, we go with Criminal. By the way, if you're looking for the Sender books, those are officially out of print again, and I have no idea when they're going to come back. So, not driving FOMO, because I hate doing that. But if you are thinking about purchasing some books, maybe make that, and you've been interested in that one, or that one is saved on your card and like at Walt's Comic Shop or Cheap Graphic Novels, maybe think about purchasing that one. Make it a priority. Congratulations from Spain. I love your videos and the Omnibus collection you present. Thank you so much, Jose Lopez Gomez. What is that hippo's name from Hanna-Barbera? Do you remember?
I just remember him being on Birdman.
Birdman?
Attorney at law.
No, that's nothing like his character.
Deflex 1. Thank you for the super chat. If I like Uncanny X-Men, would I like Alpha Flight, or is it dated material? When does the Alpha Flight Omnibus come out again?
Alpha Flight Omnibus comes out in September or November or October. When did I announce? What did I announce that with? It comes out in either September or October. Would you like it? If you like John Byrne's artwork, keep in mind he's writing everything. But Curtis is dead to me. That is, John Byrne is Canadian. How can he not write a Canadian team? But what John Byrne does on Alpha Flight is experiment on so many things. There's an issue that he gets love, praises, and also hate for, and that is the Snowblind issue. Snowblind is
the white.
Yes.
The white page.
It's white panels. Snowblind is all about one of the characters, and they get caught in a snowstorm. There are no drawings for like 4 pages. It's just white panels. And as a kid, I'm like, this is genius. You can't see in a snowstorm. And then people are like, oh, he was just lazy. He didn't want to draw. I love that issue. There's also an issue where he does like all splash pages. He was doing a lot of experimental things. Some people didn't agree with it.
Maybe it's to put you in the experience of like,
yeah,
really think about that you couldn't.
But he had more free reign than he did in X-Men, right? In X-Men, he co-plotted the stories with Claremont. He was drawing it. It wasn't his baby. And this is his baby. This is his team. Things will make you mad. He kills characters off that you're like, oh, I just got to know that character. Why would you do that? Or he does a lot of things that are really messed up with some of the characters. I happen to like it. It's one of my favorite titles that I'm so glad it's coming back to print. But is it like X-Men? There are aspects of X-Men in there. Wolverine shows up with his cool coat. because he has ties with Heather and James. So yeah, sure, it's like X-Men. And Puck, who doesn't love Puck? Thank you for the super chat, Ron A.
Good morning.
Oh, look at that.
Watched the Cat Binding Spencer video with great interest this week. Ooh, with great interest.
I know everyone loves Brubaker.
But are there any other notable Cap runs from the 2000s?
Somebody asked me in the comments section to rank these writers as far as Captain America. But you're talking about the 2000s. So I did not like Marvel Knights Cap. I did not like Kirkman's Captain America. I thought that might have been one of the worst runs on Captain America. Spencer's is ups and downs. I thought Rick Remender's was a little bit better than Spencer's run, especially by the time you get to the Secret War. Is that what it's called? Not Secret War. I'm sorry. Secret Origins. Why can I never Secret Empire? And the new run on Captain America by Lasing and I cannot remember the other writer's name. That one really took me by surprise about how well it was written. I thought it was a really, really well-written Captain America book and a lot of fun. And somebody said that it got worse in the second. Now, I haven't read the second arc because I'm waiting for them in trade paperback. But I would suggest that one, too. I thought they got the voice down for Cap. What's up, Juso? You didn't miss much, man. Hope that answers your question.
Little Time Man 22.
Yes.
Thank you for the super chat.
Unfortunately, it is out of print. That's just part of my haul.
Well, here, let's read it.
And it was.
Was that a Nightwing Year 1 book I saw on the thumbnail? Is that in print? Okay. Now, just for people who are listening, no. Your answer, what you're talking about.
So, Peter Potamus was the hippo's name.
Yeah. Sheriff Bear is asking, speaking of Dark Horse, when can you let us know what the next Dark Horse Deluxe Edition manga will be?
They told me that they do their own thing when it comes to announcements, but if they ever change their minds, they would keep me in mind, and that's good enough for me. So I have to wait for them to officially announce it, and it's usually through their social media. Yeah, so that's their baby, kind of like Spawn, right? I offered my services to announce the Spawn reprints, and the Todd father wanted to do it himself. Gotta respect it. At least they came, right? That's wonderful. That's the important thing, to get these books out there. So until they reach back out or until they need my service, that's their baby, and they can handle it however they want to. Omar, please hint at these. How's it going, my buddy? Let's see. I actually wrote it out. Okay. Tomorrow there's going to be breaking news, or today if you're on Patreon, and my haul video. Monday will be Spider-Man or Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon Omnibus, and then the Black Panther family review. Tuesday will be another breaking news and some trade paperbacks, the Marvel trades, and old reader, new reader. Wednesday will be the hidden gems for the month of February, as well as Amanda and I's show that we have comic book movies. I think we're going to do Was It Really That Good? Maybe this time around, or something else. Thursday will be some Dark Horse trades. And Friday will be, that's the day that I'm doing the poll. I think that's what I'm shooting for, the poll for the reprints where you all get to vote, which means I need to get to working on a couple of things on Patreon. Big dang, Sin City it's not officially being reprinted yet.
Deflex1, thank
you, brother,
for the super chat. Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 coming out again.
Mm-hmm.
Any word of Volume 2 reprint? Also, I noticed my new Dr. Afra Omni had sticky pages from.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate when that happens. Sticky because of the ink. I haven't experienced that outside of the. Well, no. I did experience that in Dr. Afra. Actually, the new printing, like the back pages, the back matter, the extras, they were sticky because of the inks. So yeah, it didn't I didn't have to rip anything because it wasn't the glue or sewn binding up at the top like that's happened before. But I did notice that in my Dr. Afra too. So right, that pulled to the printers. Yes, the family review will be out on Monday. Yeah, finally. Been holding back on that one for a while. There was another really good question. I can't see it now. That's okay.
Is the Spider-Verse Spider-Geddon Omni a good standalone book?
Yeah. All you need to know, even if you're not familiar with the comic book character, all you need to know is like, oh, all these Spider-Men are coming together from across the multiverse. So they're from different things. Like there's even little Easter eggs there for people that watch the TV show. the old 70s show. There's Easter eggs there for people that watch the Broadway Turn on the Light, whatever that was, the musical. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. James is mentioning also this coming week on Patreon is Sunday, February 19th. So that is tomorrow, Omar and Melanie's AMA. And then, so that stands for Ask Me Anything. And on Thursday is the book club on Sarah, which I highly enjoyed.
I'm so glad you liked it.
That I highly enjoyed it.
Kyle the Mighty. I knew somebody was going to make that joke.
Let me tell you that... Sorry, before reading it, I flipped through it and I told Lydia, I was like, this book looks boring.
Because it's war?
Yes. And then I was like, oh, it's not boring.
It's a group of women snipers.
I didn't even know that. I just saw war.
It was so awesome. Turn off the dark. That's what it's called.
That's what you guys wanted to read. And that's the point of book club is to expand your horizons. So for those of you who don't know what expect from your AMA. Well, Omar will complain about something tomorrow, and I don't mean complain as in like he's got legitimate reason to, and he's got just stupid stuff that's not appropriate for
it is if you're easily offended by strong language or mature content, not that we show anything, but it's just the topics get really heavy sometimes, and it's literally an Ask Me Anything. Now I can't answer anything really specifically, like if it's NDA, like because I signed an NDA with Marvel, so I can't specifically answer things, but I do give strong hints. Sometimes they want me to look at the upcoming books that I haven't announced yet, and to get my natural reaction to them, where I'm like, yeah, or okay, but and it gets silly sometimes, and
so that's the 7th.
It's kind of like this, but it's a lot more condensed because there's not that many people that watch it because it's a Patreon tier that they pay for. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with those, and we usually drink.
Oh, let's see.
I really want the ink.
Thank you so much again, Bob, for the super chat. Can I give you somebody besides Harley Quinn? Can I give you Joker? I mean, I know he's not sexy there, but still, there you go.
We don't talk about that in the mornings.
I really want the how do you pronounce this? Lee DM covers in. Oh, you took a bite. Okay. Covers the Black Cat and Spider-Gwen Omnis. I'm trying to save money right now, so can't pre-order. Is it smart to wait until after release?
Where are you getting your books?
Art Germ.
Art Germ are beautiful, too.
Need some Walmart stories from Omar tomorrow, such as you falling asleep on
bags
of dog food.
Save it. I give you credit for being able to keep announcements a secret. Oh, thank you, Mr. Tex. Even through this chat, I haven't said anything about some things that have popped up, and I'm like, I can't say anything until the book is out. So, can't say a word.
What about doing classic comic book movies?
But one of them makes me mad that I get to announce it. Just saying, that's what made me upset this morning. Working months on that schedule, and then things like that pop up. But what are you gonna do? Keep on trucking.
That's why I was accidentally set for noon today, not 11.
Yeah, I was that mad.
Why don't you do classic comic book movies for Was It Really That Bad? Like Doctor Strange movie or
the
Adam West Batman movie.
Yeah, if they're easily found online, of course. I would be happy to do that.
Hope you and the family have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Marvel ever does a Kang Omnibus, how many volumes do you believe they can make?
Oh man, you can have the classic stuff, or you can have the modern stuff. So at least 2. Oh, I mean, if you throw in Rama Tut and the not Crimson Centurion, Scarlet Centurion and Immortus in there, and classic Fantastic Four event. Oh my gosh, I mean, you could have up to 3. Question, Omar, do you think Marvel brings out New Mutants Volume 3 that would include the entire Extinction Agenda? No way. If you watch Matt My Ex, well, that is way too much. Extinction Agenda would be in a Volume 4, wrapping up the entirety. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't have it.
Oh, it is on. Maybe we can do that. Maybe I'll do that with Amanda. So yeah, Extinction Agenda. No, we mapped it all the way to the beginning of Rob Liefeld's run. So I think we went all the way to 85, 86 being the first one in Volume 4. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Did you answer the question though?
Not yet, but that is a wonderful idea.
Okay.
Softcover Omar. I really want the Inhuke Lee Black. Oh, I asked you a question. I said, where do you pre-order from?
Is it smart to wait until after release?
I think, I'll be honest with you. not the drive FOMO, but I really do think the Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider Omnibus, I don't think that's going to have a print run like the first one. And the first one went out of print. That is the cover, the Ink Lee cover with the Venomized Spider-Gwen. That's the cover I think that everybody's going to want. And those usually tend to go first. Like Spider-Man, I think the standard edition cover by Nick Spencer is gone. I mean, it's sold out within a week. Does the AMA...
Yeah. Does the AMA include the uncensored version of how Omar really feels about two of Don Rosa's stories?
Yes, that will have the uncensored version of how I really feel about these things.
Oh, it's Emily's birthday.
Oh, it is. So no, it's her wedding day.
I meant wedding. Emily and Patrick can get married. I'll send
you a message. I'll send you and your husband.
Surely they're not watching right now.
What if they are?
No.
What if they are? They're watching right now. Hey, I offered to officiate their wedding.
Let's see. Michael's saying, hey guys, my dad is part of the Big Brother, Little Brother program, and his little brother is several years behind reading comprehension wise. Any tips on using comics to help improve this? Yes. Wait, specific though. Just saying it would help.
I know how
defer to you.
Well, I know how it helped me with English. So comics, visual art form that looking at pictures and following pictures and memorization of certain words really helped me to learn English the summer of 1987. I came to this country knowing hello. I didn't even know what hi was. I was so confused when people would say hi. I was like, what is that? So in the summer of 1987, I took the comics that my mom and dad would buy me, and I made it a mission to read these things and learn to read and learn certain words and phrases. And I have a lot of my English, really the way that I write, probably came from Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men. So,
that would be interesting to compare your writing styles.
So yeah, you can do that. So following the pictures was first, right? For me, visual art form, and then learning certain words from there. So I think it's very important. Test for Omar. How do you pronounce Kiketo?
You got distracted.
Pikeli, that's him. That's it. Yeah, where you at now? Thought you had me, didn't you?
I'm trying to think of specific reasons behind it instead of just the generic, it'll help. Maybe specific. Whatever he's interested in.
That would be a big start.
That would be a big start. It doesn't have to be superheroes, right? Love animals. You could. Oh no, not Pride of Baghdad, because that is really sad. But what's a good animal comic?
Suggy Ojimbo. Uncle Scrooge by Don Rosa.
Well, we're thinking of helping with building a stronger reading comprehension skill.
First, I think it's very important to also learn how to read comics by following the panels. So I would start with something with no words, almost. Cheese Sweet Home.
Yeah, I was wondering about
that. You give them Cheese Sweet Home or Gone.
Is the dinosaur G-O-N?
Kids love those things.
Is that?
And you follow. Yes, it is. Okay. And you follow the panels. Once you learn to follow panels, then you get something a little bit easier to read. Teen Titans Go is a really good one that DC put. Not Teen Titans Go, I'm sorry. Tiny Titans is a really good one.
Oh, Tiny Titans, yes.
Because you read the word. That's how my daughters learn to actually read and memorization. Because you see the spelling of Raven, you see the spelling of Robin, and they start, matching the characters with those. So it would be a really good topic to talk about, really. Hey, Joey, how are you?
It's really good animal manga.
From the creator of Satch Bell. Or Gone. Yeah. Yep. Wordless Dino manga.
Tapsy Logic, let me tell you, years ago, the person that would help with students who need to strengthen their reading skills. Oh, I loved him. He is a great man. And
also older.
He's like, I don't see how you read those comics. And it just made me laugh. I was like, no, there's some terrific stories in there. Yeah, he was old school. He was a really great guy. Oh my gosh, Krogs Ladardi, I'm reading The Voyage of the Dawn Treader to Alicia. That's my favorite, along with Last Battle. Actually, I can't choose between the two. Oh, and we're reading them in the order that was written. I don't like the chronological order. The order that was written, that I read as a kid.
Remember Neil Gaiman's story on Susan?
No, I don't
Okay.
want to think about it. If it's something bad, I wanted to name Lydia Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love Lucy. Jack Berry, thank you for the super chat. Reels talk idea. The Punisher
Dolph
with Dolph Lundgren.
I
Was
love
it really
that.
that
Why
bad?
do you have that one?
Hey, that's good because he's rolling his eyes. He's like, oh.
That's exactly how I read comics. That is a really good one. I actually like that movie a lot. I don't care if it was Dolph. I don't care if it was filmed in Australia, but I love Louis Gossett Jr. And he didn't even have the Punisher symbol. It's so ridiculous. Silverchair blew my mind as a kid.
That's my least favorite.
But the Silverchair had a good twist, though. I like that one too. Boy and his horse, or Horse and his boy.
Yeah, Horse and his boy. That one's my second least favorite.
Silverchair is a great Aussie band.
Hey, wait! I know Silverchair because my mom.
Your mom likes Silverchair.
And that guy was like 16, right? And he sounded like he was 35.
I thought that was Radiohead. That could be.
No, I'm pretty sure Silverchair.
You mentioned wanting to write a comic of your own. Which writer would you see reflective in your? You done?
No,
you're just like one of your students, I swear. Oh, come on, Claremont. Over wordy that I have to cut back so much. Like I'm just overwriting things. She was having such a bad day. Her name was Elise. She wanted to be a anthropologist, but she oh my gosh, all these useless information. I don't care. It's so beautiful poetry in there. You know who else wrote like that was Judd Winnick. Judd Winnick took a lot of things from Chris Claremont and wrote it into his stories. Very similar style.
Bar, just to let you know, those pictures aren't showing up. It's a description of what the emoji is.
What? Okay. Okay.
It's like
is innocent. Thank you for the super chat, Michael.
These no. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, Michael, thank you for your super chat.
Can you and Bar start your own chat room, please? Is Ann Nocenti's entire run on Daredevil available on Essential or an Omnibus format? Love the channel. Thank you so much. No, it's not. None of it is in Omnibus format. Nor Daredevil didn't make it that far into Essentials, but they are all available as of now in Epic format, and one of them is coming back to print later on this year. So yes, they are available. What are you doing?
She said, "I'm loving these YouTube emojis."
Oh my gosh. Some would say the 90s Punisher movies was ahead of its time by leaving off the Punisher symbol. No. Oda is greater than Claremont at what?
That life itself.
Not writing good narration?
Brian, yes. Omar showed me that Bill Watterson is coming out with a grown-up book this fall.
Yes,
that
so exciting.
Really interesting.
And it's a grown-up book. It's not a kid's book, so it's going to be so different.
Oh, and I asked, is it regular text or the pictures? I would assume they were pictures because he's an artist. I was just wondering.
Yeah, very excited for that. Advice for new comic readers or obsessive chronological readers: just read whatever you want to read and figure it out backwards. That way you will start to enjoy comics instead of worrying about missing out. 100%. I do reading orders to help people like me out there that want everything, that need to start at the beginning, that need to have everything and then read. And I always keep in mind that not everything has to be read in order for you to enjoy something. Like people will leave comments like, "Oh, this is out of print. Do you think it'll come back? Like, can I read this without this?" You can 100% read anything without having read the previous issues. And that is completely okay. And then find enjoyment in those things. And then if you want to, go back and get the books you missed. Things will always come back to print. It's a matter of waiting around for things.
It just bothers me when I'm confused because I don't understand what's going on.
And you also have something now these days that we didn't have back in the day called Wikipedia or the internet.
I don't know.
Like I'm sure you could Google what happened in Batman 457, and then we'll tell you. Melanie, if you were not a teacher, what would you be?
Voice actress. Not that I think I'd be good at it.
You would be good at it.
And then or an editor. I enjoy that challenge. Yeah, I'd be an editor. And then of course staying excuse me. Just staying at home and helping with the channel, helping it grow, that would be great.
Thank you so much. Deflex one. Recommend upcoming Immortal Hulk Omnibus. How does it differ from Peter David's run in Planet Hulk Omnibus? What did you think of it? I loved it, dude. It's up there as top 5 favorite Hulk runs. Starts off as like a body horror type of, reminds me a lot of like a mix between Peter David's run, Bill Mantlow's run, and Bruce Jones' run on the Hulk. It's like borrowing elements from those stories, and I guess to give credit where credit is due, Barry Windsor Smith's Monster, and taking elements of those things and the things that I enjoyed about them and adding a new mythos. When you get halfway through the book, though, it throws you for a freaking loop. What is it?
The pictures show up on YouTube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So does that not make sense? When I was showing the things, all we see on StreamYard is the description of it.
Yeah, that's all we see here. So keep that in mind, though, okay? That when you get halfway through the book, it's going to throw you into almost Alan Moore territory type of storytelling. And oh my gosh, I know some people didn't like it, but for me, I really enjoyed it.
When I show this, guys, does it show the actual emoji?
Okay, here, let me see.
Because it just says the description on our end. Jack Berry,
Fact.
thank you so much
for Super Chat. Punisher 89 is better than 04, Punisher, and Warzone 08. And I actually enjoyed 08 Punisher for what it was, the Warzone. But I think, yeah, you're right. I think I've said that when we reviewed Punisher Warzone, that I actually like the 89 Punisher. I recently read Bruce Jones' Hulk on Marvel Unlimited. People, if you haven't read it, please read it. The only other thing I didn't add to the Al Ewing Immortal Hulk is that it also is a love letter to that 70s Hulk show, the TV show. So if you watch that growing up, oh my gosh, there's so many cool things that happen. How many volumes would it take to collect X-Men run by Chuck Austin? 1. Yeah, 1. Because there's 3 complete collections, and yeah, 1 run. 1 run.
What is your favorite omnibus of 2022?
Wolverine 3. I still consider that one. Did it come out in 2022, though? No, it came out in 2023. New Warriors 2. Yeah. New Warriors 2. So, beautiful peeps. Will Absolute Preacher reprints remove the intros by that hack Seth Rogen and his pals and replace them with Brian K. Vaughan's friends intro from the Omnis? Show is dude, I thought I was the only one that did not like the show. I didn't like the show because I don't think they understood the source material. I think they went for, and I know you can't do gratuitous things like you can't, like Preacher had in the comics, but I still don't think they understood what the story of Preacher was really about. Yeah, all these blasphemous things are happening, but there is a beautiful story in Preacher. All right, Omar, this might be a tough choice, but what run do you think is better, IDW Transformers or IDW TMNT? Which would you recommend? Transformers.
Whoa.
Without even a thought. Transformers.
Wow.
Transformers. It is that good, my brother. It's that good. Like, I like IDW Turtles. I love it, but Transformers all the way.
Bar, I'm going to ask to just chill on the emojis for a while. I'm sorry. It's really funny. Just so the chat can flow smoothly. Just please.
Omar and his robots. I'm okay. I'd read a comic book called Omar and his robot. Are you trying to break YouTube, Bar? How would you pronounce it? You grew up with a cartoon.
Like I said,
Raj Al Ghul. Make it good. Well, it's funny because like there's an argument as to how to properly pronounce it. Dennis O'Neil had his way of pronouncing it. He's the creator of the character. The cartoon had their way of pronouncing it, and then there's the actual word.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people that just have never heard any of these things, and so I'm sure they're probably like Raz Al Ghul. I prefer turtles. I like turtles. Dude, I'm happy. It's good.
Wait, did you answer the question?
I don't know what the question was.
Would Ra's al Ghul make a good villain for a future Batman Spawn crossover?
Oh yeah, you throw him in there. He's a good villain in anything.
You got yourself a stew. So sad that they could not end the IDW series.
Well, it did end, and it did wrap up in trade. But yeah, when I get to the Transformers Part 3 reading order, it's gonna be sad.
Thank you, Bar.
We're stoppable Bar when we need her to stop unstoppable Bar.
Hamza says, I know some Arabic pronunciation, so it's definitely not
Raj Al Ghul.
10-minute warning.
10 minutes. My goodness, time just flies. Jonathan Thomas, not Jonathan Majors. I've answered that. If you want to go back to, I think it was at the 20-minute mark when people asked me, I got really into it. If you want to go back to that, I take that very personal. So yeah, but thank you for asking about the thoughts on Disney banning the Life and Times Link dog. And again, it's not a ban. To clarify, I know there's articles out there that they're banning. They're not banning it. They made the publisher has made a decision not to publish or print a particular story from a book. There's a difference between banning and a publisher making a decision. Dark Horse has done it. Viz has done it. DC has done it. It's their call as the publisher. Hello, my peeps. What's up, Alex? I got your emails, brother. I'll be watching the replay. Have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you, my brother. Hey, Omar, I have a niche question. Does James O'Barr the Crow exist in oversized hardcover format? I have them in standard edition hardcover. I don't know if they have ever published them in deluxe editions. I don't think they have. Ra's al Ghul the Machine.
Shadow stamped it.
Okay, Final Shadow stamped it as the rant. Can you rename it to the Duck Rant? Or join the Patreon and join Omar's uncensored opinion on the AMA. I will have an uncensored opinion on the AMA. I may get a little passionate about that.
Jorge's asking, what do you have to read before House of N Omnibus?
Avengers Disassemble and Astonishing X-Men 1-6 are the two books I definitely recommend before that. And honestly, if you want to, Excalibur would be good. The Excalibur Volume 3 series, that's a good recommendation. It's where Magneto's hanging out with Scarlet Witch and Professor X for a little bit. I got yelled at by a guitar player for singing Ra's al Ghul instead of Mud Shovel. Duck Rant. Woohoo. Oh, woo.
James, yes, Omni Dog is going live at 1. And however, I think you're going to be... you need to eat lunch.
I gotta eat lunch. He's fine. He's fine. You got it. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Untold Tales of Spider-Man Omni is a good read after Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, question mark, or should I skip to Volume 2?
Well, it's still fresh on your mind to appreciate those stories. I think it would be a good point to read Untold Tales. Yeah, you could do that. Hope you have a good weekend. Thanks for another show. Tis appreciated. And I appreciate you.
Appreciated. Hey, Omar, Axe comes out this week. Is it worth picking up both trades or just the main series?
I just read the main series. I'm reading the companion not as we speak, but as I got on to do the show. I think the companion has a lot of one-shots that flesh out the main series. So, yeah, I think it's one of those that you may have to get the companion as well. Omar, ¿cómo te sientes? Me siento más o menos unstoppable, bar. I also recommend Darker Than Scarlet to read as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but then I don't think Benda's read that either. That's just my 2 cents. Okay. What is?
Alex is saying maybe they will release it with a forthcoming movie. Thank you very much for the answer.
You are so welcome. Would you read Harry Potter if I were a comic? I wasn't I saw the movies because I was dragged out to see the movies. I think it's cool that people liked it.
I read all the books,
but it was never for me. And I think I read the first 2 books. It's just maybe if I was younger. I like my stuff a little more mature.
The Batman Morrison run and the Paul Dini run can be reading
side
by side or just 2 different series.
They can be read side by side. And as a matter of fact, they kind of come together when it comes to the crossovers. So yes. And yes, please smash that like button, por favor. Goes a long way.
Which comic would you recommend to someone who never read a comic before? Whatever the person is interested in, I'd say, like the subject. If not superheroes, like if they're interested in more fantasy, magic, right? So that would be really difficult to think of one for every single genre. I'd say start with that, though.
I think there's good segue graphic novels that schools could teach to get people into comics. I think from a mature level, somebody in high school reading Mouse would be a good read, but I don't know. Some schools can't teach that now.
Ours does.
Good. It should. It's a very important thing. Very important, horrible thing that happened, but it happened, and I think it needs to be taught so it doesn't ever happen again.
Persepolis?
The French book?
I never read it. I don't know.
It's a good one, too.
It's red?
And
It's
blue.
got a pretty cover.
Mhm.
Blue? I don't remember blue. Let's see. Thank you for
the super chat, my brother. Good morning. Even though Omar said bad things about Quantumania, and it's 100%. I'm still here to support you guys. I remember reviewing that last night. I said, look, despite of how I feel about this, if you enjoyed the movie, that's all that matters. And vice versa. If I happen to enjoy something that you don't, doesn't mean we can't be friends. Persepolis. Golly, why is that so hard? That's a good one too. I think honestly, depending on the maturity level, Saga is an excellent one. Fables is a good one. There's really good graphic novels that are segues to comics out there. And now we have such a broad, different genres of graphic novels out there. Yeah. Omar, what Peter David run do you prefer? Hulk or X Factor? Why do you prefer it? Wherever it is. I mean, I'm Uncanny Omar, so the right answer would be his X Factor run. But I got to go with his Hulk. His Hulk added so much mythos to that character and made that character amazing to read. If not for his Hulk, I would not have gone back and read Bill Mantlow's run. I would not have gone back to the beginning and tried to read some of that Silver Age stuff when I was younger, and then eventually got to read it all when I got a little bit older. So yeah, Peter David Hulk for me is what got me into the character, and a lot of us into the character.
Dean saying, it always confuses me when I search a run for Marvel. It always comes up to a point volume something of something. Like you said just now, Excalibur Volume 3 for House of M. What does that Volume 3 mean?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is confusing. And it's confusing because both DC and Marvel relaunch titles as number ones. So anytime I say Volume 2, Volume 3, I'm not talking about trade paperbacks. It's... Okay. Let's use Avengers. Okay, Avengers started in 1963. Avengers ran all the way up until Onslaught. It was canceled with issue 502, I think, 504. And then they relaunched it again as Heroes Reborn. So Image had, the people at Image were redoing Avengers, launching it as a brand new number one after 504 issues. That number one becomes Volume 2 of Avengers. So that is Avengers Volume 2, number one. A year later, Marvel got the rights, but got the characters back to Marvel Comics, and they relaunched it during the Heroes Return era. So that would be Volume 3, number one. Then we got a cancellation of that to go to New Avengers. Now, that was never really an Avengers title. I think it was a New Avengers title, but they still put it as a legacy number. And then sometimes they go back to legacy numbers, which really gets confusing. That's why I have reading orders out there. Coming in extremely late. Just wanted to say hi. I hope that helps clarify a little bit as to what I talk about Volumes 2, Volume 3. It's a lot confusing, I'm not going to lie. Invisibles is one of my top 20 favorite non-superhero graphic novels. I love that book. It's crazy, insane, and it's Grant Morrison doing what they do best.
So thank you for the super chat.
Confusing you.
Gives it a ting. What he does best, or what they do best, confusing you.
That's what they do best. Confusing you and make you rethink your life.
Hamza, I picked that for Lydia because she's obsessed with Whirl and Swindle.
A lot of characters.
Thanks. Got it. Awesome. Let's see. MCU Iron Man is better than comic book Iron Man. Comic book Thor is better than MCU Thor. What dost thou thinkest, Omar?
Well, depending on the run, right? I think there are some great Iron Man stories out there, and this month the month of March, I'm focusing on like the top 15 X-Men stories and where to find them in collected editions. And I thought about like, what would I do if I did a top 15 Iron Man stories? Do I really have 15 top Iron Man stories? I think I have like 7 or 8. I would really have to think about that one. Like without second thought, I'm like, I only have 15 X-Men. Holy moly. But Iron Man is just one of those characters that, like, the definitive run for a lot of people was the the Bob Layton, David Michelinie, and John Romita Jr. era. And then you have the Ellis era, which was only 6 issues. Then you have the Salvador La Roca and Matt Fraction era. So I guess it depends on the writing, which the better Iron Man. And I think Robert Downey Jr. had a lot to do with that, too. Now people can't think of Iron Man without thinking of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you, yeah. And I like comic book Thor, especially more than Love and Thunder Thor. Can you recommend several non-superheroes, non-big two, well-written spy espionage comics?
Thank you for the super chat. And I will put one of the big two characters up. Spy espionage. Well,
Spy versus
Brie
Spy.
Brie Baker stuff?
There's some Bruce Baker stuff. I was thinking of what's it called though? Lazarus. Like Lazarus is an awesome comic that it was Greg Rucka. Was it Steve Epting that did that one? I think it was Steve Epting. The Bond comics are really excellent. I don't know if you've been reading those. Ed Brubaker did the Secret Avengers. If you're into superheroes and you want to see some espionage stuff, it's Captain America though is a good one. Those are some. Yeah, there we go. As a Marvel Monster fan, thank you so much, Kelly, for the super chat.
And it's 1:00, so we'll be ending soon. Go ahead. As a Marvel Monster fan, do you know if there are any plans to release all the Frankenstein monster material in an omnibus? Thanks.
I really was hoping that we would have that this particular October or last October, because we had Marvel Horror Rises Again, or what was it, the one Marvel Horror? Oh, I can't remember. I love that Marvel Horror omnibus. That was one of my favorite releases of that year. I was hoping we get a Marvel Horror Rises yet again with the rest of like the Frankenstein stuff in there and a couple of other books.
So people are suggesting Gun Honey.
Oh, Queen and Country. That's another good one. I haven't read Gun Honey. I really want to.
Marvel Horror Lives Again.
Lives Again. That's what it was, not Rises Again. Yeah. So I was hoping we get a Marvel Horror Lives yet again. Queen and Country is solid too.
Okay. How many more questions?
Let's do 3 more questions and call it a day. And at this moment, thank you all so much for coming over and joining us. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. Don't forget to check out our Spread Shop. And also, smash that like button while you're here. And check out Cheap Graphic Novels if you live in America and you want to buy some of the books we've been talking about, pre-ordering the books that we've been talking about. Absolutely give them a shout out and check them out.
Deflex1, thank you for the super chat. Recommend Sigil Omnibus? What's it like?
Sci-fi, adventure, space. I guess space sci-fi? Is that a genre? Sci-fi has so many genres now, sub-genres rather. So fantasy, space genre, Babylon 5 type of story.
There you go.
Something like that, yeah.
Let's see. Hi, Omni. Is there a reprint of Chip's Daredevil Volume 1 hardcover?
No. I nothing yet. I did ask about that. I remember David said we might do one later, but that's it.
Gunsmith Cat reprints?
No, nothing, Josh. Sorry, buddy. Maybe in hardcover format one day. That would be awesome. I like the Gunsmith Cats. That's the car I want.
So, yeah. How about this be the last one? Okay, worst Nicias story or run?
Super Pro.
Oh,
all of it.
Wait, we got super chat.
But he did say, hey, they were giving me paychecks and a man's got to eat. So when I interviewed him a long time ago on a podcast, so I get it, respect, but yeah, Super Pro for sure. Football player that becomes a superhero. Dude, thank you so much, John Carlos, for the super chat, my brother. Hey guys, great show. Hope all is well. Just got my Spencer Cap Omnibus. It says Volume 1. What would a Volume 2 contain? And how likely is it to come? Well, I guess it really depends on the sales of the first one. The pre-orders are very important to them. That's why I always try to push for pre-orders if people are interested in a particular title. I just judging by the fact that they've included War of the Realms and Adjacent Aaron Omnibus, and then Omnibus by Donny Cates also had the King in Black, I would think it has the Secret Empire story. And then it would collect everything leading up to issue 25, where Sam Wilson and Captain America, Steve Rogers, where the title becomes one again. That's what I think.
Thank you guys so much.
So that's it, everybody. Thank you so much. My favorite Black Panther run is Christopher Priest's run. That is my favorite. Do we know when Hick Vengers 2 will be out? I have a review copy of it. I think it's May now. Maybe April. Stay healthy and safe, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button on the way out. And yeah, that's all we got.
And as always, stay minty.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful week.